Every child shall have the right to such measures of protection as are required by his status as a minor on the part of his family, society, and the state. The goal of the International Covenant on Civil Political Rights is to provide all children under the age of 18 protection against performing any work that could be potentially hazardous to their health or that restricts their education, mental, spiritual, physical, or social development.
Although there have been rules created and restrictions put on labor regulations, child labor is still a worldwide issue and conditions do not seem to be getting any better. The International Labor Organization reported that over 218 million children work in developing countries. Of these, 122.3 million work in the Asia-Pacific region, 49.3 work in sub-Saharan Africa, and 5.7 million work in Latin America and the Caribbean.
All of the conditions that these young children are exposed to can be extremely dangerous to their health. For example, children who work at rug looms can have major eye damage, lung disease, stunted growth, and arthritis as they get older due to the long hours and demanding environment that they work under. These conditions are not acceptable for anybody to work under, yet situations such as these are very common around the world.
States that the Department of Labor does not track illness, injury, or fatality rates for workers less than 16 years of age. Injuries probably occur at least as frequently for those workers as they do for older workers. It also states that although there are not direct records of injuries, an estimated 41% of occupational injury investigated by the Occupational Health and Safety Administration occurred while the child was engaged in work prohibited by federal child labor laws.
Although some countries are starting to place legal minimums, employers still find ways to work around these rules. The United States has a legal minimum of $5.15 per hour. However, about one-third of child farm workers who were interviewed by Human Rights Watch only get paid $2 per hour, and were told by their employers to say that they got paid $5.50 or $6 if asked by a government inspector.
In addition to receiving less than minimum wage, children are often beaten during work. It is not uncommon for the masters to beat and curse at the children, making them less motivated to keep working harder. This behavior has also been reported in the United States, but it is more along the lines of sexual harassment instead of physical abuse. Girls especially are subjected to sexual abuse in farm labor, and if they refuse, there are repercussions such as discharge, blacklisting, and physical assault or rape.
This kind of behavior shows that the workers are willing to do anything for money and would rather face the challenges associated with their jobs than quit altogether, and that is something that needs to be changed. Corporations and unions in the U.S. and Europe complain about the unfair competition between them and factories in other countries that employ children and pay them low wages.
Business leaders in America strongly oppose child labor violations, but they do not think that it is as big of a problem as many people may think. They believe that many parents believe in the value of developing good work habits from an early age. However, this is not the case in every situation.
Human Rights Watch discovered the Fair Labor Standard Act, and although it seems like they would want to improve the working conditions, the main beliefs do not seem to match up with their mission. Children are being forced to give away their childhoods because money is the most important thing in society. The children have to start working by the age of 5 and give up their right to education and social development.
While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation.
Whether children work in the fields in Egypt or a factory in New York, they are not protected under the laws that should be provided to them.
Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds, poor people gonna rise up.